And joining us now is former U.S. Treasury Secretary and Harvard University President Emeritus Larry Summers. Larry, good morning from the Asia Pacific. Thank you for joining us today. We've seen your posts on social media. Take us through what you're thinking right now and your reaction to this.
This is vicious. It is illegal. It is unwise. And it is very damaging. Why does it make any sense at all to stop 6,000 enormously talented young people who want to come to the United States to study from having that opportunity? Why is punishing them the right thing to do? What due process has attended this action against the university? The United States won World War II because of people who came to be at American universities. They invented radar, they invented the atomic bomb, and much else. Why is cutting off that kind of interchange sensible for our economy or for our national security? If the Trump administration has an objection to something Harvard is doing with respect to foreign students, let it pursue the specifics of that objection through the processes of law. But simply throwing 6,000 students out and denying the many thousands of students abroad who have dreamed of coming to study at Harvard that opportunity because they're angry about a fight on other issues, that is not the way we do things in a democratic country like the United States. I am just appalled that we would have an administration that would contemplate actions of this kind. If I had been a member of an administration where such unlawful orders had come from the White House, I would have resigned immediately. This is part of what they have been doing. It's blatantly illegal for the President of the United States to intervene in the affairs of an individual taxpayer. And that's what he did with respect to Harvard's tax status. It's blatantly illegal to pursue civil rights claims against someone without any kind of due process. Look, I have been sharply critical of Harvard on a whole range of issues. There is much that needs to be different, but that does not justify the sledgehammer approach that this administration is taking to what is vital and delicate machinery, our greatest universities. I just don't know quite what to say.
And Larry, I think you make a very good point earlier on that if there is a problem, let's let the law take its course. Is it clear to you at this point in time what the specific legal violations Harvard may have committed here?
No, and I'm not at all confident and rather doubt that there were any legal violations. It isn't Harvard's idea that there's privacy associated with student records. It's federal law that there's privacy protections for students who study at a university like Harvard. So I suspect that any legal violations being claimed here are pretextual and are pretext, not a reflection of reality. I don't know everything that goes on, so I can't know that for certain. But Harvard has a clear necessity right now. Resist and reform. Resist because this is the stuff of tyranny. And if an institution like Harvard, with a $52 billion endowment, with the staggering network of alumni that we have, if it can't resist these kinds of movements towards tyranny, I don't know what other American institution will be able to do that. So Harvard must start by resisting. But God knows, to say that it should resist is not to say that there are not enormous needs for reform in our university, but not this way and not with these people directing what is happening. That is law, that is decency.
Resist. What are you hearing, Larry, from your circle of contacts about what the school's potential next steps are or should be? Two separate questions, I guess.
I don't know what they'll be, and just to be clear for all your listeners, I am a professor at Harvard now, but I do not speak for the university. I would think that there are legal actions that we can take to block any sanctions being levied immediately on our students. And I expect that there will be appropriate legal actions taken. Certainly, I'm uncomfortable living in a country where this kind of effort, where you single out one university, which the president has condemned on political grounds for major punishment, and then you punish it in a way that didn't involve due process and that doesn't involve any tailoring of the sanction to whatever specific you are concerned about. That's not the kind of country we want to live in. The reason we have independent branches of government, an executive branch, a legislative branch, and in this context, crucial, a judicial branch of government, is so that the judicial branch of government can stop this.
And in the meantime, while we, I guess, see how the chips fall and while we figure things out, professors, students, parents, school officials, I would imagine are thinking about what they do now. And from just a practical perspective, existing foreign students at Harvard must transfer is one of the orders. How does that work practically, Larry?
I hope and trust that it's not going to come to that. I hope and trust that there will be legal actions that will be taken that will enable those students, many of whom dreamed for their whole lives of coming and having the opportunity to study at Harvard because they saw Harvard as a symbol of what was the best of America. Clear thinking, understanding the world we live in so as to make it better. Great, not everybody's great, but many people are. Scholars seeking truth. They dreamed of coming to Harvard. And I just pray that we as a country, through our judicial branch of government, find a way of enabling that dream to be lived. Because if we don't, we are going to be sending a symbol, a signal to the world that we are no more committed to what is free than the nations we label as our adversaries. And that would just be an incredible tragedy. I myself will be prepared to do everything I can to support the many brilliant, America-loving foreign students who I have the great privilege to work with. And I just know that so many of my colleagues will be prepared to do that. And I hope and trust that this will work out. But I have not seen so ill-conceived and vengeful an action involving universities in all the time that I have been involved in higher education.
Larry, just very quickly here, the What do you think this does to the international reputation of the school? And do you suspect this will lead overall to a drop in international student applicants to U.S. universities?
I think we are doing our very best as a country to help British higher education, Australian higher education, New Zealand higher education in the rest of the world. We are taking what's been the pride of our country. It exports vastly more than it imports. It has contributed so much to our economic strength. We are destroying it, and it is a devastating self-inflicted wound.